Good evening and welcome back to Allergic to Stupidity. And it is March the 14th. Ides of March is coming. That's tomorrow. You have to be an English teacher for the Ides of March, or at least know Shakespeare for that. Okay, so my first one is allergic to stupidity, allergic reaction. It's not really, it's a roll in the eyes. If you remember, I mentioned my allergic reaction, I believe it was yesterday, about the teacher in one of the states who got in trouble for putting up a sign that said, everyone's welcomed. And she was told to take it down because the district felt it was a personal opinion and that personal opinions were not allowed in the educational system in their district. And so she took it down and then she put it back up because she said, this isn't an opinion, this is a reality. Everyone is welcomed in my classroom. End of discussion. Well, it turns out that the district is still not talking, but everybody in the community has heard about it and they're all protesting the district's office. They refused to talk. They refused to talk to the students. They refused to talk to the parents who are there. They refused to talk to anybody. I would hope it's because they're embarrassed as all get out and they're not going to do the mature adult thing and go, oops, we're really sorry. She's right, we're wrong, which is a sign of maturity, actually, guys, when we can admit that we've made a mistake. And there you go. So the next step on allergic reactions. So today's chit chat, I hope everybody's warm and cozy and is enjoying the spring that's coming through, is now that we know we now have Mark Carney as our leader in Canada. He's now our prime minister, simply because he is the leader of the Liberal Party. And you can just see the frustration here because something I was reading today and everybody was dissing Mark Carney and blah, blah, blah. And somebody made the comment, we did not elect him. No, of course you didn't elect him. You voted in the Liberal Party. And I will give people following that person's comment was saying, guys, reiterating exactly what I say, we do not elect our leader. We elect the party, which is where this whole chit chat's going. And we were all coming down this poor guy's politely. I will give everybody was being stereotypically Canadian polite, saying, no, this is how it works in Canada. We've elected the Liberal Party. If you don't like the Liberal Party, then just don't vote Liberal next time. Vote something else. And so what I wanted to do today was show you. Okay, I think I've got them all. Oh, yes, I do. The various parties' policies. It's just very generalistic. And I will try really hard to get the links to each of these in the description. And again, with my description, when you go to the description of the video, you will have to copy and paste those addresses. Because I have to go through a whole bunch of hoops to prove that I've got to verify it. And for me, not having a cell phone, it means running up and downstairs to the phone to get the okay. So the first one I wanted to look at was the party that's in power right now. So let's just start by looking at that. I hope I've got the right one because I've done that. Okay, so this is the Liberal table of contents for their policies, and this is literally the policies. It's not here, vote for me, donate, blah, blah, blah. This is just literally their 2023 official party policies. This is the most up-to-date ones I can find. Okay, and we have a table of content. It comes out to about 28 pages. And here it is. We have, like, on page 4, affordable housing, Windsor, Quebec City high-speed rail link, investing in Canadian defense. All of that's laid out just nicely. Okay, etc., etc. Save lives, keep the seniors home. Truth and policies, politics, which is sometimes hard. I will grumble. Sometimes my Liberal Party doesn't do the best job it could be in truth and politics. They're better than other politicians I run into. Right now, they're better than other politicians I run into, not just in conservatives, but also other Liberal politicians. I'm going, I don't want you running my government because I can see through your lies kind of mentality. take consideration into prairie provinces and the green transition for them, northern energy solutions. So it's all laid out there nicely. And I like that because it's I can go to that table of contents and then I can figure out exactly what I want. And you just go down here. Let's just look at the affordable housing because that is exactly what everybody's grumbling about, or one of the big ones. Right now, we're all grumbling about Donald Trump. Okay, so here it is. Now remember that housing is basically a provincial responsibility. It is not solely on the federal government. It is a provincial responsibility, and the federal government will support. So whereas the government of Canada has the goal of building 160,000 new homes, improving access to safe, stable, sustainable, and affordable housing, and reducing chronic homelessness by 50% by 2027, 2028. Okay. Now, here is the catch that people need to understand. The Liberal Party of Canada, or the Conservative Party of Canada, but whatever, the political party can urge the government of Canada to do A, B, C, D, or E. Just because the Liberal Party says we need to do A, B, C, D, and E does not necessarily mean that the government of Canada or any government is actually going to follow through. And not BA, because these are the guidelines of the Liberal. I'm just using the Liberal Party right now because that's what's up on the screen. That's the Liberal Party of Canada would like to see. The government of Canada is going, okay, those are really good. We are the Liberals. The government of Canada is liberal right now. This is really good. We really like those ideas, but we also have to take into consider the international issues, and I'm using these only examples, please. The Alberta is grumbling about this, or Quebec is grumbling about that, or a territory, or whatever. So these are what the Liberal Party would like to see. Okay, so there's the housing. Immediate change. The National Housing Strategy just stopped emphasizing loans for private rental development and shift the focus towards non-market housing to provide guaranteed and accessible, affordable housing for low and middle income Canadians. I really like that because I have a problem with massive private rental development. So guys, I live in the country, and within 100 meters of my house are two houses that are rentals. And that bothers me because when you're renting, you're in it for the investment. And that means these people aren't going to care as much about the property, but as long as it's kept up, it's not falling apart, as much as, say, I would owning my own personal home because I've got a little more attachment to it. Okay. Here's the Windsor, Quebec City high-speed rail link. The idea is to encourage people who are going from Windsor to Quebec City to use that transit system versus driving. Gets traffic off of our 401, and it decreases the amount of gas pollutants into the environment. Okay. So that's right there. That is investing in one of my pet things, Canadian defense. With it right there, where the conflict in Ukraine rejects the belief of underpinning the international order and flouts international laws. So they're supporting in 2023, stating the Liberal Party is stating that conflict in Ukraine is going against international order and flouts international laws. So after World War II, under the United Nations, a series of international laws were created, and one of them was no more expansionism. Let's get rid of this territorial gain that has been famous for colonialism and was part of the problem of what caused World War I and World War II. Okay. So there you go. That takes care of the first two. So that takes care of the Liberal Party. Now, let's flip over to the Conservative Party. I had been waiting and looking and share this tab instead. Let's get it over there. I want to make sure that you're seeing what I'm seeing. You are. Okay. This is literally the Conservative page. I have typed in Conservative Party of Canada's policies, and this is the only place it takes me. And I have, in trying to get policies, have clicked that and said, I'm looking for your policies. And I was about 2 months of getting, donate to us, donate to us, donate to us. And it was like, and I would message them back saying, I just want to see what your housing policies are. I just want to research your housing policy. And all I would get would be, you want to donate $25 to you? It's like, no, this is not what I want. Merch. Like, this is literally the Conservative Party, what I'm getting right now. Free shipping. Well, congratulations. That's it. This is, I have looked. Right? This is it. Grand total. Like, I'm not impressed, guys. Okay. That's the Conservative Party. And I'm like, excuse me. No, there is, like, if you go to this website, there's always articles. Now, this one, I haven't opened it. I don't want to open it. Not because I have a problem with them, but I just don't want to start getting emails or algorithms sending me to the Conservative Party. This is a Poilievre thing. He was making all those advances in the polls, excuse me, because all he did was rip Justin Trudeau apart. Okay, you don't have to like Justin Trudeau. That's each their own. But could you tell me, give me some backup? Okay, you don't like Justin Trudeau because he's doing this or this or this, or you don't like the NDP party because they're doing this, that, or that. But tell me also specifically why it is you don't like it. Don't just rail on them. Explain to me why you don't like it. And now that we have Mark Carney as our prime minister, he's putting the two together because he's worked his base on not liking Justin Trudeau. And so he's trying to connect the two of them together. LOL on this one. And the first thing Carney did as soon as he became prime minister was to get rid of the carbon tax. So one less thing on, okay? So really, this is why I'm not happy with the Conservative Party. I mean, I've never been a conservative person, but if you look back at even Stephen Harper, because that would be the closest that's to ours. If I went to the Conservative Party page then, I could get policies. I could look and say, oh, this is what they believe. And I could do a legit comparison between their policies and the Liberal policies. And actually, that was one of my assignments for my civics course a few years ago, was they all had to literally make me a table on, I think it was 3, maybe 4 different concepts, so that there was consistency. And it was like housing, and they'd have to tell me about the Conservative policy and the Liberal policy and the NDP policies and the Green Party policies. So like this is sort of why I'm really frustrated with these guys, is because I can't get anything. Every time I look, this is what I get. You're getting me ranting here. Okay, now I'll leave it. Oh, let's share this one. So the next party I went for was looking for the New Democratic Party because they're the third party, major party. And I got, oh, perfect. Policy, the New Democratic Party of Canada. You ready for this one, guys? Sorry, error, unavailable. Great. Sorry, I gotta show you this one. Oops, this is what I get. Sorry, page you're looking for is currently unavailable. Great, guys. So I can't even get this. Like, come on, guys. Now, maybe this is just a glitch in the system with their website. I have found being able to get his face, like, so it's like their front page home and it's please support us and join us and all that kind of stuff. But when I go for the policies, this is what I get. Great. So that's 2 for 4. Now the next one here is the Green Party. Okay, which of course has a donate. But as you can see, I'm going to again just take 30. Oh, I want to stay in this call. Just want to make sure you're going to see what I'm seeing. Okay, so theirs is not going to be as specific as the Liberal Party one is. simply because they're the fourth party and they've got like 2 seats in the House of Commons. They might have more, but I don't think by much. So theirs is a very generalistic approach, but at least it's something, right? Get back to building housing, okay? Affordability. Government has programs to fund the construction of affordable housing, which we do. We'll fix this with setting clear rules. Public money builds houses. It must be truly affordable. So if I, as a real estate developer, build condos or housing, as a developer, I have the right to charge whatever I want. But what Green Party is saying is, if public money is being used to build the houses, then the price of the housing must be kept affordable. Okay, so somebody who's making $70,000 right now can't afford to buy a house in Southern Ontario, and that is ridiculous, because $70,000 is a half decent income. When I look online for housing, anything that's saying the house is worth $400,000 or $500,000, it's in northeastern Ontario, which is a fine place to live. I've got no problem. I used to live in North Bay for a year, but it's not necessarily where people's jobs are. But because there's such a high demand down here, okay, putting people before profits. Again, this one I agree. Big corporations see houses as a way to make easy money. They bought their properties, driving the prices higher and higher. Cities like Vancouver, Toronto, investors own more than 30% of all condos. Regular families who need homes can't get them. So there's the affordable housing, which is what I was trying to compare the three of them. One of the things. Okay. Now, that's their big one. Okay. Their plan, again, because they're the fourth party, they can make theirs vague, more vague, because they don't have a chance of becoming the party in power. Okay. Green economy. Liberals have been pushing that for the last few years. But with the cost of living, with COVID and the cost of living crisis, people are honestly more concerned about making sure they have food at the table, which is a shame, but there we go. There you go, folks. So let's stop sharing and get back to my beautiful face. There we go. Okay, so those show the 4 major parties. We're not talking about PPC. It was started by a disgruntled conservative who didn't become the next leader. Max, I don't even think they have a seat. There's the Communist Party. There's other parties too. But those are the 4 main parties in Canada. And like I said, you can go to the Liberals, I will try very hard to remember to put the link into my description box. That one's pretty well laid out. The Conservatives, nothing. Just, we want your money. That's it. And grouches and bitches about whatever they want to grouch about, which is always aimed at the Liberals, obviously, because they're in opposition and they're trying to get power. The NDP, I can get to their webpage. I can't get to the policy page. And that just might be an error in their page right now. Maybe there's a glitch in cyberspace or whatever, but I can't get to theirs. And then you saw the Green Party. So I will put the only 2 that it's legitimate to go see, which is the Liberal Party and the Green Party, because there's nothing in the Conservatives and there's nothing in the NDP. So there we go. So there we go. That's what I've been wanting to get together, and I just to let you know so you can see what the policies are out there and if you're going to agree with the party or not. We do know there's an election coming. Hopefully it's in 4 or 5 months, probably the fall, with everything that's going on with down south and all this upheaval and the stock market and the rest of it. I can't see even Pierre Poilievre trying to push it, and his numbers are going straight down. So if he's intelligent, he won't do anything for a couple months until he can attempt to get his numbers back up, because right now they're at 50-50, sort of not 50%, but they're even Steven and who's leading. Some days people are telling me it's the Liberal Party that's ahead in the polls, and sometimes it's the Conservatives that are ahead in the polls. I don't know. But mine has always been, I don't care what party you vote for. Obviously, I want you to vote for my liberals, but that's not my point. My point is just get out and vote, right? But go out and vote knowing exactly which party is going to, at least on paper, support the concepts you believe in. Okay? I do have one comment, and I've had a lot of people who, actually conservatives, who have said this to me. They agree with me on this. When a party comes and says, we're going to cut the taxes, my first line is, okay, you're going to cut the taxes, where are you getting the income? We all want the dental plan that the liberals just put through. We all want more affordable housing. We all want more affordable childcare, right? Like some of the childcare rates down here in the GTA area is like $120 a day. People can't afford that. So mommy's going out working, making $120 a day just to pay for the child to go to daycare, right? There's not enough daycare spots. Like it's just, all those things are out there and we want them. We're very proud of our OHIP. That's great. But when I have a federal party telling me we're going to cut the taxes, we're going to cut the taxes, I'm just going to sit there and say, okay, you're going to cut the taxes, but where are you making the income to compensate for those taxes you're going to cut? Because it's our taxes that keeps our government running. And if you want the bells and whistles, if you want the dental plan, which for those of us who do not have dental insurance, yeah, right? But those of us who have people, friends, family who need heavy duty medical care, do I really want my OHIP cut? Do I want to have to go on private medical insurance? Not really, because I can't afford it. All these bells and whistles that we as Canadians are proud of, we need to understand that it's our tax money going into a great big pool that helps pay for it. So when we start cutting that income to our government, they got to make the ends meet. That means they're having to cut our services, and we don't want that. So vote for whatever party, but please go in knowing exactly what your party is going to be planning. Does that make sense? Anyways, take care, guys. Tomorrow is Happy Saturday. I'll be around with something with a smile on my face. Take care, guys. See you next time.